Hi, this is Tanya with another technique by Tanya. This technique tutorial is going to be about how to make a three-dimensional snowflake. So let me go over the supplies with you and what you will need first. You will need tape or glue. I'm going to use tape because I don't want to waste the time on this video waiting for the glue to dry. So I'll be using tape, but like I said, glue might be better because you won't be able to see it in the end result, whereas the tape you do see it, it is a little bit visible. You'll need a stapler, a pair of scissors, and you will need 6 square pieces of paper, any size you want. Once again, here, the bigger pieces of paper you use, the bigger your snowflake will be in the end. The pieces of paper I am using are 6 by 6. So I took a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, divided it into fourths, and then took half of another 12 by 12 and divided it in half to give me my 6 pieces. You may also want to use a pencil and a ruler. I did not draw the lines on the first 5 pieces of this snowflake that I made, but I am going to be drawing them on this piece so that because it's on the video camera, it might be a little bit easier to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so first you're going to take one of your square pieces of paper, and you're going to do the exact same thing with all 6 pieces of paper. So you're going to take that square and you're going to divide it in half so that it forms a triangle. Actually, I'm going to turn this over for you because the other side is a little bit less of a print and you can see it better. Okay, so there we have our triangle. Then you're going to take your ruler, and like I said, with the other 5 pieces I made, I just eyeballed it. I didn't use the ruler, but I think this is going to be easier for you all to see what I'm talking about if I use the ruler and pencil. And you're going to draw 4 sets of lines. And so there's the first one. Then you're going to come and draw the same thing on the other side of the triangle. Now the most important thing here is you do not want these 2 lines to touch up here. You want to leave space in between because you'll see when we go to make this snowflake why you need to have intact paper here. These lines are actually where you're going to be cutting the paper with your scissors. So that's the first set. Then we're going to come and we're going to do another set. I'm not measuring to make sure that they are all evenly spaced. I'm just eyeballing it. And trust me, once you get your snowflake done, you'll never be able to tell amongst the 6 pieces whether you measure or not and whether they're all evenly spaced. And we're going to do one more set of lines. And once again, you don't want any of these lines to touch and where they should come together. You don't want them to come together. Stop short before you come together. Okay, so now I have a set of lines here, a set here, and another set here. And like I said, these are our cutting lines. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut along those lines, making sure I don't cut all the way through to the end there. So I'm going to cut on this line and turn and cut on this one. Like I said, don't bring those cuts together. Here, 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 and finally, here. Then I'm going to lay this down on my sheet or my table. I'm going to open it up so that it is in the diamond shape, like that. Now you're going to take these first 2 little tips inside, and you're going to roll them towards you and just bring those tips together, making a little tube. And then this is where you're either going to glue those tips together, or like I said, I'm going to use tape for speedy reasons, and we're just going to tape those together. So you should have one little tube sticking up like that. Then we're going to flip this over, and we're going to do the exact same thing with the next set of tips there, triangular tips. Fold them up, making a tube, bring those tips together, and secure it with either glue or tape, whatever your preference. And flip it over, do the same thing again. Now you'll notice that I used double-sided paper with this because when this project is complete, you are going to see both sides of the paper. So I thought it would be more exciting to use a double-sided paper. Flip it over the last time and bring your last set of tips together. Okay, now I went ahead and did my other 5 pieces of paper before I started this video so that you all wouldn't have to wait and watch me do it. But you're going to do the exact same thing to all 6 squares of your paper. Then, once you have all of those done, you're going to take 3 of them and we're going to connect them. Now I noticed that you want to make sure they're all turned the right way and that you have the same piece of pattern paper going in the same direction or on the same side of your point. So see, this one I have the red and the white and the holly, red and the white and the holly, and this one I have backwards, so I'm going to flip it so that it goes red and white and holly. Then you're going to take these 3 tips. It doesn't matter, you can have it this way or this way, it makes a difference. They're the exact same as you'll see when you do this yourself. You're going to take 3 of those tips on those 3 pieces of your snowflake, the arms of your snowflake, and you're going to put them together like that, and we're going to staple them. And I'm going to do it twice just for good measure. Okay. Now then you're going to do the exact same thing with your other 3, which I have already done as well beforehand. Then you're going to take the 2 sections of 3 and you're going to put them together right there in the middle where those tips all meet up and staple once again. And twice for good measure. Alright, so there we have our big snowflake. And then we need to adhere where the snowflake meets, where each of these arms meet with each other. You want to go ahead and secure those together. So you can staple or glue. I would go ahead and glue it because the staples are going to be too noticeable there. And I don't think tape is going to be rather difficult to put there. So I'm going to go ahead and use my glue that I've set aside here, and I will glue all of these arms together. You all are not going to want to wait for it to dry, but I think you can get a pretty good idea of what this looks like. If I can pull away from here a little bit, I think you can see that. And I will also post a picture of the completed project for you. But there you go. Wouldn't that be awesome to use a full 12 by 12 sheet of paper and you'd have a huge snowflake, 6 pieces of 12 by 12? Because this is pretty good size. This is at least a foot wide with just using the 6 by 6 sheet, so it would probably be 2 feet wide if you use 12 by 12 sheets. That's it. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a warm winter. Talk to you later.